Hello everyone, this is Steve with enteringintospace.com. Yeah, that's right, I have a website now. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new scope that I just got, which is the Skywatcher Quattro 8-inch Newtonian. It's an astrograph, it's a fast Newtonian at f4. It's giving me more focal length, so a little closer on smaller targets at 800 millimeters. I'm also going to show you the switchover setup, getting everything on it. First light, images, and a full-blown project that I did with it on the Pelican Nebula. Oh, and also the Eastern Veil. That one turned out really good. So gonna go over some things that I like about it, things I don't like about it, things that you're gonna need to know if you're looking to buy one of these things, and some changes, or I don't know about changes, but upgrades you're gonna have to make to it. So hopefully this video helps out, and stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Steve with Entering Into Space. And I was shooting like through a telescope this big, and now I'm gonna shoot through a telescope like this big. So this is the Skywatcher Quattro 8-inch Newtonian astrograph reflector. I'm gonna get that as a tattoo. Yeah. So everybody doesn't see, I did it again. I said so. Anyway. Everybody does an unboxing, but everybody knows how to open a box, even a rabid raccoon. But I'm just going to do what's in the box. What's in the box? Oh, well, let's see what's in the box. So that way, if you're going to buy one of these scopes and be under pressure like I am to get it unboxed and get it on a mount and get it outside and get it set up, because it's going to be clear tonight. So, you know, there's that myth that when you buy astro stuff, then everybody goes, oh my God, the clouds are coming in. Whatever. Just busted. It's going to be clear tonight, unless you have a voodoo girlfriend who puts the fufu-gatu on you. Oh my gosh, this thing's huge. Is it really? Yes. So, see, I did it again. So,
You just did it again.
I just did it again.
It doesn't matter.
You know, everybody always says there's a box within a box.
No?
But there's not a box in a box.
If I was dressed, I would.
I know. Here's a box that's in pretty bad shape. Let's see what it's got. 2-inch to 1.25 inch adapter. We won't be needing that. Finder scope. Let's put that there. Finder scope. Probably like a 9x50. That will stay wrapped up in the bag because it's not a guide scope. A gigantic finder scope bracket that will stay hermetically sealed. And ooh, this is what I need right here. This is the 2-inch extension. So we'll see if we need that or not. Not really sure how far out I gotta come. Anyway, There it goes. And box. A bag with instructions. Skywatcher, Newtonian. Skywatcher 200 CF. I don't have the CF. This is not a carbon fiber. So it's a steel tube. And some, oh, these come out. I don't know what you could do with these.
I was gonna say something but wrong.
Don't say anything. This could be, I don't know.
I know it.
And the other one, the mate. It's mate. It's mating season for styrofoam cushioning. And then the big show. If I had a lovely assistant.
I like that it's black.
It's not black. It's pearl black. Yeah, so it's much bigger. It's 8 inches in diameter, 800 millimeter focal length. I'm at 384. So I'm like, so let's look at the Italian scene in the background here. If I was shooting the whole scene, now I'm like maybe focused on the sail. It's the difference. Anyway, a dual speed 10-to-1 focuser with focuser safety cap. Probably never use that again. And focus lock seems to be fairly robust. Looks like I got 2 locks. Oh, that's a tensioner. That's the lock. That's the tensioner. So focuser is very stiff and very, yes, not a lot of slop in the focuser, so that's good. So let's lock it down. It's got a good lock system on it. So what's really cool is it already comes with the rings. I didn't have to put any of that together. I thought I might have to. It does not have the mirror cooling fan like the Orion 8-inch does. Let's turn it like this. No fan. But I don't think I really need it. I think I'm going to be fine. Ring, ring, ring. Those are close encounters of the third kind ring. Ring. Why? Why would they do this? This whole video is going to be me trying to get this paper out. Okay, so let's put the rings back on now that we got this bloody paper off the thing. This thing's heavy. And I'm hoping that my bracket that I made that holds all of my doodads, such as my Pegasus Astro Power Box and USB hub and all the cables, will fit. If we're that lucky, we'll be amazed. All right, so I'm gonna take it outside. I'm gonna put it on my temporary CG4 mount just so I can hook all the wires and cables and the camera up. And then we'll move it over to the Orion Atlas and try to get some elephant trunk for the first light. I know you always try to get you some elephant trunk. So the first thing you do when you buy any Newtonian is you fix your glasses. And then you check for collimation. So we're using the Hotech 1.25" laser collimator. And we're gonna have to use this ring here. So we're gonna adjust the tube rings. Rotate the focuser up. All you gotta do is tighten one. This thing's pretty stiff. So take the cap out, back off the thumb screws, and make sure this 2-inch to 1.25" adapter piece is in pretty snug. And the Hotech laser, can you see it? Yes, works. But it's got a pretty cool compression collar, so once you tighten it up, these rings expand to almost like self-centering. And this little tapered piece, right here, you want it to face your primary mirror. just tighten it up, making sure that it's pointing towards the back, locked in there really tight. Turn the laser on just by tightening the cap up. So I have no idea if you're going to be able to see this, but we are definitely not pointing towards the center. So that's going to require adjustments to the secondary mirror. And then when we spin it around, we're going to want to look down this angle here. I don't even know if you can see it. It's so bright. But we want to get the laser beam bouncing back. See, it's just reflecting off my finger right now. So we've got some major collimation adjustments to do. Spin it back around here so you can see down in the tube. You can see that laser should be pointing towards the center. So the next step in the conversion process is I have this piece of angle that I bought and painted and put a Pegasus Astro power box sticker on it. And I have my power box and my temperature and dew sensor and my 4-port USB hub all velcroed to it. And I don't know what that wire is yet, or that cable, cables. Anyway, so I gotta get that mounted. So believe it or not, I already had that hole pre-drilled to fit the little Celestron 6-inch scope, and it perfectly matches to that. Anyway, I gotta get that guide scope mounted, and if you can see behind me, see, I don't even know if you can make this out, but this is real, people. This is junk everywhere. This is a piece of 1/2-inch square bar. That's still because these telescopes are so similar to my Celestron. Okay, Blaine, film in here. Fits over, this is the stud. I think these studs on these little these rings here are for like a camera. But I take that off, I threaded another stud in here, and I can slide that over like so. And then I've got 2 bolts to come in here to mount my 60mm guide scope rings to. I'll take that off, and the way those go is these are the bolts, and I've had to drill out and then countersink the hole. So that slides like that, and then my separate ring I'll thread on. And we tighten them up with what is this? 1/4-inch Allen screw. If you don't have a set of Allen screws for your astrophotography tool set, get some. So, and you want to get everything to the center. Is it centered? So once we get the guide scoop in, that'll lock everything down. Like that. And then we do the mechanic shuffle as we go, where did I put it? Like that. And watch this. Some serious channel locks. I know. Try not to cringe. I mean, I could get a 9/16, but why would I when I have channel locks? And we have our 60mm extremely dusty, a little bit of dog hair Astromania guide scope with the 290mm. Slide it through. And obviously we're gonna have to recenter this when we get on a bright star. Now comes the fun part, mounting the camera. Here we have the ASI 1600mm Pro Mono, the 1.25" 8-position filter wheel. I've got a Bader 2-inch chroma corrector, and I should be roughly 55mm from, wait, let me get my finger around here, from here to here, here. I want to make sure that I'm getting the 1600mm that's across here to be fairly in the same plane. I may adjust it, but I want to start out at a known position. So I'm just going to loosen the set screws, rotate it. So now let's get some cables hooked up and try to remember how all that goes. I don't know. Okay, so we got we got a doorband undone. We got an extra Velcro thingy stuck to it. So these doobands, I like to start with the base and wrap it all the way around. So I've got this Velcro strap. I think this came with a pocket power box, like they were intended on having this thing mounted somehow, but it's worked out great for keeping the cords at bay. And we'll have to see how things go with the night and the humidity. We may have to put one around our camera here, because I have gotten dew from the focal reducer. But for right now, I'm just going to put one dew band on for the guide scope, and I don't need one for the Newtonian because the mirror is way back here. Okay, so dew band's hooked up. So that's it. So that's all the cables, and next thing I'm going to do is tighten everything up, get it all nice and crisp. Adjust my glasses again and get it over on the Orion Atlas and get set up for tonight. All right, so we are set up. We're set up. Everything fit really good. The bracket's mounted, the scope is mounted, the camera has its cables appropriately placed and secured. The thing I did is, like I said, I have a break point here, and the break point is these two cables here. So I got power that comes from the pocket power box down to the mount, and then I have the actual power that comes from the AC converter down here up to the power pocket. So at this break point here, I don't like to put a lot of strain through the night on these cables. So I've got one of these kind of flexible hook wire things, rubber coated, wrapped around, and I just hook it just on the screw, just like that, and it takes some of the tension off that connection. So when I'm done, I just pull those two cables, then I can hook it down here, and the whole OTA camera, everything lifts off, and I take that inside, and it's a lot easier to carry because my OTA is 27 pounds. So I'm pretty well maxed out my Orion Atlas right now because it's rated at a 40-pound capacity, so I don't have much room to spare. That's basically it, and hopefully I'll have a pretty cool image to show you, probably just an HA image at the end of this video. Thanks for watching this kind of crazy impromptu. I got home and scrambled to get set up because, I mean, seriously, like, who buys a telescope and then gets a clear night at the same time? This guy. So yeah, I'm scrambling to try to get everything switched over. So we'll see how my efforts did. But one thing that helps is I think there's like this one factory in China that makes almost every Newtonian, and then they just kind of go in the little assembly line, and one goes off to Celestron, and one goes off to Orion, and one goes off to Skywatcher, and one goes off to Apertura, and they just, like the sticker people, sticker it, paint it, because everything fit right up, as if I was bringing out my Celestron and putting it on here in my 6-inch. So pretty excited about F4, pretty excited about seeing how the background looks. My background wasn't that great before because I didn't have the baffles in here to kind of deflect some of that light, and then seeing how the extra aperture does here under these Florida skies. All right, so until next time, clear skies, clear minds. So what did I learn about the scope after using it for a while? I shot a couple really cool targets, but here's a couple things you might want to take in consideration in buying the scope. First of all, this is a dark frame. It hasn't been stretched, so let's run an auto stretch on it. Not sure if you can see it, but this light right here almost looks like I was imaging a comet. This is the way all of my darks look when I just put the dew shield on and shot it at night, believe it or not. So what I did is I aimed a light in here and found that, I don't know if you can see this little gap right in here. That gap, there's one on the other side, and then there's a seam that runs down the scope where they rolled the tube around and seamed it together. I had to tape that seam, and I had to put t-shirt over the whole front of this thing to actually shoot it dark that was usable. So long story short, this particular OTA has a lot of light leak. I don't know what else to call it. So next thing, this picture here was after I shot throughout the night, the first night. You can see on the secondary mirror there's some condensation here. Well, the whole mirror fogs up because it's so big and it's so close to the edge. You can actually see some water right here. So I had another dew heater strip that I actually have 3, and I was able to just kind of wrap this one around the back side of that, and then I don't show it here, but I took this cable and taped it along the spine of this secondary mirror holder here, and then it came out and fed through and then went down and hooked to the pocket power box. So you're either going to have to make a dew shield to go around the end of the tube, or you're going to have to do this, one of the two. But other than that, I got some really cool images. Let's see, this being one of them. This is right around 7 hours, about 4.5 hours each filter. This is a bicolor of the Eastern Veil Nebula, so only HA and only oxygen. Really sick details in here, so pretty impressed with the scope. The last thing that I discovered, and it's the reason why I'm not using the scope right now, is because right here you can see I've got the Bader coma corrector in here. Well, Skywatcher has, I think it's a 3-element, or either 3-element or a 4-element dedicated coma corrector that I think I'm gonna have to get, because no matter what I was getting, no matter what I did, you see my stars are just not, they've got this little bit of a bloat out here on each one. I had to adjust collimation 2 or 3 times to really get rid of how bad it was, but I still have, you can really see it on these stars here. If I zoom in, you can see I've got this like light that shoots off here every time. You can almost see it looks like little comets. So that's, I think that's what's going to fix it. I'm not for sure, but that it's got to help. So I'm going to have to order the dedicated coma corrector from Skywatcher. But that being said, great scope. The guiding was actually better. I think it's just because of the weight of it, and still portable enough. Wasn't that bad to set up. And definitely would recommend for the price for $600. It's a great scope. Anyway, I'll show you a couple more images at the end of this video. And thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. Clear skies.